AITA for telling my brother he moved too fast for the outcome he ultimately wanted. My brother, 39 meters, has a daughter Piper, 15F. When Piper was 4, her mom died. My brother told Piper so much about her, and they had some special photos of her mom that were treasured. When Piper was 6, she started being teased by this girl called Nancy, 15F now. It continued on for over a year and ultimately came to a head when Nancy tore up a photo of Piper's mom that Piper brought into school for some show and tell family edition her class was doing. From that day on, Piper did not like Nancy. Because of that incident, my brother and Nancy's mom met. They became friends, and a few months after the incident where Nancy tore up the photo, they started dating and they married a year later. Piper pulled away from my brother when she found out he was dating Nancy's mom, and even more when they moved in together and got married. Nancy was actually happy and tried to get close to Piper, but Piper wanted nothing to do with that. Nancy's mom mentioned how being sisters would mend the rift, and I thought that was kind of crazy, given what went down. My brother only mentioned to me recently that he really thought Piper and Nancy would be sisters and would be close by now. But Piper doesn't want anything to do with Nancy still and doesn't trust her around anything important. I told my brother that's because he moved too fast to get that kind of relationship with them. I said he and his wife started dating and Nancy hadn't even apologized, and then Piper was still upset about who he was dating and Nancy being in her life more when they got married. I told him at no point did he try to make what happened better for Piper. He thought his marriage license would somehow erase the hurt Piper felt and the bullying Nancy put Piper through for more than a year. I said maybe if he had given it time, let Nancy apologize and given the girls space where they weren't living together to interact outside of school, things could have happened. But you had one child who was hurt and angry and another who was eager to have a dad and sibling. After only having her mom, my brother said I expected him to let Piper dictate his life. I said no, not what I said. I said if he wanted Piper to be happy and embrace Nancy as a sibling, then he should have taken things more slowly to get that outcome. He told me it was none of my business and I was overstepping and just his little sister. AITA? NTA. Your brother began dating and married the mother of his daughter's school bully? Isn't this the plot of a 90s horror movie? NTA. Oh my god. Poor Piper. NTA. So many people imagine that if they construct a fantasy it will become a reality just because they want it to. My brother said I expected him to let Piper dictate his life. He gets to dictate hers, but he's not prepared to show her any consideration at all. He told me it was none of my business and I was overstepping and just his little sister. Why did he talk to you about it? What he really means is, what didn't you tell me what I wanted to hear? Quote, this is going to come full circle when Piper goes low, no contact once she is old enough to leave home. People do not magically embrace their unapologetic bullies because their parents decided to shack up and force them into a sibling-style relationship. This whole dynamic is probably a nightmare come true for Piper. You are right on all fronts. But there's very little he can do now to mend the situation, which he massively fumbled. So I understand why he would rather play dumb. NTA. He didn't like what you said because you were right and he knows that. NTA. NTA. Literal nightmare. Having your own bully as a step-sibling? I would try to move out as fast as possible. Poor girl. You're in every right to criticize your brother in that aspect. NTA. Your brother put his needs before his daughter and didn't care what this would mean going forward. I think you're absolutely right. NTA. Brother is an idiot who alienated his daughter by falling for her bully's mom at first sight. No surprise he's also a jerk. NTA. You were definitely in the right to tell him what was true. Remember, she's your niece as well as his daughter who he isn't treating well. If he's not taking care of her, it is absolutely your business. NTA. I'm sorry, but if that was my dad, I would view it as the ultimate betrayal and would be counting down the days till I hit 18 to move out and never look back. Bad parents when they're faced with constructive criticism. Shish 0 ULDI. Let my child dictate H0 W. I live my life then? Quote. NTA. NTA. You brother trampled over all his daughter's feelings. He betrayed his daughter's trust the moment he brought perceived danger, her bully, into her home. He even feels entitled to the bully and the victim becoming friends just to make him happy. And it's you who overstepped? He deserves to be arrested for disrespecting all his daughter's reasonable boundaries, in my opinion. Edited for grammar. NTA. Your brother is being ridiculous. He put on his rose-colored glasses and expected everything to be hunky-dory. He'll be wondering why Piper goes low to no contact when she turns 18. Be as supportive as you can be for her and be a safe space for her if you can. Piper deserves better, and she deserved better when your brother decided to marry her bully's mother. Both of the adult are delusional that a victim of bully would ever trust their perpetrator. Worse, he failed his daughter by allowing her safe space to be invaded by her bully and being in her home and life on a daily basis. He expected a piece of paper to mean something to his child when that piece of paper means nothing to some adults. NTA. Thank you for having your nieces back. Your brother is thinking only of himself and his own needs. He probably thought that the teasing was just a little bit of fun and hasn't realized in all these years later the lasting impact it's had on his daughter. Why has he allowed the situation to go on for so many years without any attempt to rectify it? Does he enjoy watching his daughter suffer? Does he want to erase his late wife's memory so is just waiting for Piper to get out of his life so he can enjoy his happy new family? It's not completely clear what the timeline is here. As I understand it, 6. Nancy starts teasing Piper. 7. Photo gets ripped up. 89. Nancy's mom and Piper's dad get married? So they've been married about 6 years? The really thought Piper and Nancy would be sisters and would be close by now is after them living together for 6 years? Has Nancy actually been nice to Piper? NTA. Piper prob feels as if her dad has abandoned her and gone to make house with her bully, replacing her mother to boot. I hope she gets all the therapy she needs. Your brother shouldn't have asked you if he didn't want to hear opinions he doesn't like. It must be very tough to hear the truth of what he's done. But nowhere near as tough as Piper has had it all this time. Tell him he can't be mad at you, your siblings. That should mend the rift. I would encourage you to talk to Piper about this. She clearly needs someone she can trust and a strong woman figure in her life, and maybe you can help her not feel so alone. Being a teenager is tough. Being a young woman with no mom is unimaginably hard. Please try to support her and let her know someone has her back.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.